Welcome to MAC Basketball on ESPN3. Tonight from the Times Union Center in Albany, New York, it's the Iona Gaels taking on the Siena Saints. We welcome you here courtside. Robert Lee and Vin Parisi with you. Appreciate you joining us tonight. Vin, these teams halfway through the MAC schedule, currently tied for third place at 6-4, and both teams come in playing well.
Yeah, very well. I mean, after a heartbreaking overtime loss at Quinnipiac, Tim Kluse's Gaels have put 3 wins together, but now you're facing a Siena team. You're up in Albany. They've won 5 out of their last 6. This one should be a fun one.
Some key players to watch for in tonight's game. Iona's Jordan Washington, 18 points in just 22 minutes a game.
Yeah, Rob, might be the most efficient player in the league offensively, and the high degree of difficulty shots or high percentage look seems to be the same for him. When he has 2 feet in the paint, he is literally unguardable and so versatile down low. The senior gets it done in all areas. You see how much he has to his offensive game. If they're going to win the big one on the road, he's key tonight. We want to talk about having to play at a high level. Marquise Wright, the senior veteran guard for Jimmy Patsos. They don't get a lot of action behind the three-point line, but they work this mid-range game as good as any team in the league. Look for these 2 guys to both be the focal points this evening.
The MAC standings at this point in the season, just about every team in the league has played 10 games. They'll play 20 total by the time the season is over. You see the stakes tonight. Iona and Siena tied at 6-4, 2 games behind Monmouth, playing tonight against Quinnipiac. The winner moves to 7-4. Loser falls back a bit to 6-5.
And you love this time of the year, Rob, because if you were to look at the league standings even less than 2 weeks ago, it looked about 2/3 of the league was all clumped together. Now you're starting to see separation, and you have the Gaels and the Saints there fighting in that top 3rd slot.
As Vin mentioned earlier, both teams come in playing well. Siena's won 5 of 6. Iona has won 3 straight and 4 of its last 5 overall. Tonight's starting lineups are brought to you by BSN Sports. Iona will not start Jordan Washington tonight. We'll explain that in a moment. Ricky McGill, who's really come on in his sophomore season, along with the 2 graduate transfers, Sam Cassell Jr. and John Sevier. E.J. Crawford has played well. Taylor Bessick gets the start in place of Washington tonight. Siena has settled on its starting lineup over the last few games. Marquise Wright and freshman Khalil Richard in the backcourt, along with Levon Long, Javion Oganyemi, and Brett Bisping along the front line. 4 seniors in the starting lineup. Jordan Washington really struggled against Siena last year. He played only 11 minutes a game in 3 games, averaged only 4 points. It's not a disciplinary issue why he's not starting tonight. They just feel like they want to manage his minutes, and really it's a matchup issue for him more than anything else.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic, and I like the move by Kluse. I mean, for all the scoring and rebounding that Jordan Washington has done in his career for Tim Kluse, doesn't normally tear it up against the Saints. I think Kluse is worried about that size and post-up game Patsos likes. Maybe clear way for picking up a quick foul.
Tim Kluse, the 7th-year head coach of Iona, has led the Gaels to the MAC title twice in 2013 and 16. Jimmy Patsos in his 4th year with the Saints, 61 and 63. And 13th season overall after 9 years at Loyola. Good crowd expected tonight here in Albany. 109th all-time meeting between these 2 longtime rivals. Iona leads at 60-48, but have really dominated of late. Iona has won 12 out of 14, including 6 in a row here in this building.
Be interesting to see the pace of play, Rob, especially before the first media timeout. Jimmy Patsos talked a lot about defensive transition, getting back, not letting the Gaels play up tempo too quickly.
Saints, the home team in the white jerseys. Iona in the road maroon. Our officials tonight, Rob Riley, Ron Taberski, and Ken Clark. Alley-oop, Oganyemi. A little bit too high for him, and it goes out of bounds to Iona. Early turnover.
Siena's going to show some full court white jerseys here. See how the Gael guards handle it early. A little shaky to start.
Now pushing into transition. Wide open under the basket for a missed layup by Crawford. Rebound comes away to Bisping. Good press break. Could not finish. Bisping's been on a tear. Well short on that jump shot, and it'll go over to the Gaels.
Now, one thing about Iona, whether it's softer zone pressure, aggressive pressure in the full court, they're going to get that basketball to the middle of the floor and attack every time. So once they cross, you got to be on your heels, ready to stop the basketball.
Gaels love to shoot three-pointers, love to get up and down the court. Annually the MAC's highest scoring team, although this year at 80 points a game, only third in the league, but a team that loves to get shots up and push the tempo.
You'll see a lot of this tonight, late in the shot clock, pick and rolls.
To the basket and scoring, John Sevier, the Fordham transfer. First two of the game for the Gaels. Richard, the corner three. Rebounded by Sevier. Running out McGill. To the basket for the easy layup.
Missed three-pointer, not the Saints game. They'll only make about 3 or 4 threes per outing, but that's the Gaels game. Running off misses, pitching it ahead, and being unselfish to get the easy two.
McGill has really come on in his sophomore season. 10 points a game, comes off a career-high 20 last time out against Quinnipiac. Stuffed the stat sheet, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 steals in that game. Richard, long two is good. Khalil Richard stepped into the starting lineup recently, averages about 4.5 points a game.
I think always a mindset for when you visit Albany as the opposing MAC matchup, how you deal with this crowd and atmosphere early.
There's an Iona player, John Sevier, down behind the play. Richard feeling it. Bisping, another rebound. Sevier very late getting back into the play, grabbing at his stomach area.
You see Tim Cluse mixing it up a little. You see multiple defensive looks. He said to stay away from foul trouble. Such a good interior passing team, this Siena Saints club. Little 2-3 matchup look early.
Wright attacks the rim and scores.
Wright being in rhythm early is going to be key for this one, for the Saints.
Marquise Wright, the team's leading scorer, at 14.5 points a game. The senior from Waldorf, Maryland.
Nice.
McGill off a screen, and he lays it in easily.
Well, you mentioned Jordan Washington, the top scorer, being on the bench. Now Bessick serves as that complimentary role player and screener, and that time laying a beautiful back screen.
Bisping the three. He's been off the mark on his first 2 shots. It's knocked out of bounds by Bessick. Both these teams expected to finish near the top of the MAC. Iona picked 3rd in the MAC preseason poll. They were the MAC champions last year. Siena was picked 2nd behind Monmouth. Stays with Siena.
You can see that mindset. Back down, kick to the high post, and then immediately looking for the dump down. This interior passing of the Saints is something that the Iona staff's really been harping on.
Levon Long's been on a real tear. Can't get his first shot to go. Sevier, the strong rebound. McGill forcing the issue. And scores again, 6 points early for Ricky McGill.
It's the way the Gaels play basketball. Go, go, go.
The sophomore from Spring Valley, New York, down in Rockland County. Long blocked and fouled by Bessick.
And that's what they do so well. They establish that early real estate, seal down low in the paint. Long getting the 2 feet into that green paint area and getting that defender on the backside to get 2 easy ones from the charity stripe.
Levon Long from the line, 73%. Over his last 3 games. Almost 20 points a game, 8 rebounds and 3.5 assists. And Long, a very reluctant three-point shooter, made 6 out of 9 threes in those 3 games.
A 6'7" lefty. It's not going to be an easy matchup along the baseline for Iona.
When he really applies himself, he can be an extremely effective player. Over 1,000 points in his career. McGill has had the hot hand early. Real energy player for Coach Cluse. Blocked to Siena. Just underway here in Albany, and Iona with the early lead, 8-6. Matchup against two teams tied for third place in the conference standings. Siena just 9-12 this year, but 7-1 at home. That includes one game in Glens Falls, but have been very strong here on their home court.
Yeah, you don't love to use the game, crucial or must win before we even hit the month of February, but these are the type of games, from being in this league a long time too as well, Rob, that when the standings come out for the MAC tourney, you look back and you say, remember that game last week of January when we were playing for third place? And these are the big ones that add up.
And you think these two teams will probably finish near each other in the standings, so those tiebreakers for Siena got to protect the home court. Iona trying to steal one on the road. Iona stays in that zone defense. Kadeem Smithen has checked in. A Richmond transfer for Siena. Oganyemi gets his own rebound.
Yeah, they do a good job probing with the pass and flashing rather than over-dribbling.
Long off the mark. Rebounded by McGill. First rebound for McGill, who's already got a game-high 6 points.
Clue still going with Washington. Bought himself time. Now he's at the table.
Iona showing patience on offense here with 6 on the shot clock. Severe step-back jumper. Rebounded by Wright. Wright all the way to the rim. Lace it up and in.
Getting an easy one in transition. Just turning on the Jets there at the end.
That did not go down as a shot clock violation. Iona has 2 shot clock violations in 21 games this year. My favorite stat in their game notes.
Really gets to 15, it seems, sometimes.
McGill, chance for a 3-point play, already has 8 points. Ricky McGill, who Coach Kloos praised for his energy, his reckless abandon, said he really inspires his teammates to play harder. He's grabbed this game early.
We're able to turn the corner and take the hit and put it down. And McGill's bread and butter is being the setup guy, being the assist man, but not afraid to attack the front of the cup, especially late in the shot clock off pick and rolls when the opportunity is there.
An excellent free throw shooter, already has 9 points. Couple subs in, Deshaun Much, junior from Rochester for Iona, along with Jordan Washington, the team's leading scorer and rebounder. Right, the long 3.
This is what they like to do, that little 3/4 court pressure to make you take a quick one.
Out of bounds to Siena. Siena dominating the glass so far, 8-4, including numerous offensive rebounds.
Little head action. Little soccer action there off the top of the head of Jordan Washington.
Smithen and Oganyemi out. Evan Fisher, sophomore from Maryland, checks in along with Richard. Ball immediately fumbled.
Put him sleeping.
And tied up or a foul. Tied up.
Had to slip it behind him. Washington wastes no time hitting the deck. High motor, high emotional player.
Washington, a first team preseason All-MAC selection, second team All-MAC last year, but really struggles with foul trouble. 22 minutes a game, averages 18 points and 7.5 rebounds in that short span.
As Kloos and the staff says about keeping that passion and motor in check, and when it is, puts up some big-time numbers in this league, as fans have seen.
Long rebounds to Crawford, miss. Post-to-post passing, beautiful look, but the flip shot is a bit too strong and rebounded by McGill, who passes off for a quick 3-pointer. Long hip checks a man out of the way, and I believe we'll pick up a foul.
Now, for a lot of teams and a lot of head coaches, a quick 3 like that, Rob, up the sidelines might be looked at as a quick rushed or poor shot, but not these Gaels. If you go to a Tim Kloos practice, they'll play with 9, 10, 11-second shot clocks, and they're used to playing at this pace. Pitch it up, get the quickest, most available shot. He likes to go.
Cedric Casimir checks into the game. He was the 2015 MAC Rookie of the Year, missed most of last season with an injury as Washington scores on his first shot.
One of his textbook moves over the left shoulder he loves.
Much the foul in transition, his first.
This is Jordan Washington at his best. Get you down low on the blocks, work you to the middle, and then come back to the left shoulder.
Shooting 58% from the field is Washington, second in the league.
He's great at using the glass.
Gaels have held the lead the entire game. Bisping fadeaway jumper. Strong rebound by Much.
And Patso said he's the guy that's got to get off to a good start. He's got to play well for us tonight, Jimmy said.
Bisping 0 for 3 from the field early. Well off that jump shot. Bisping another rebound, his fourth. Long, awkward shovel pass stolen away by Casimir. Fouled by Long, it'll be a second. Unnecessary foul for Levant. He'll go out of the game.
Yeah, Tim Cluse had to look before on the sidelines, Rob, to Jordan Washington saying, you just got a high percentage look, a great drop step along the blocks. We don't need that deep face-up jumper there. Get back to work on the inside where it's going well.
So effective around the rim. Weave action here for the Gaels. Backdoor look, McGill, and he scores. 11 points for Ricky McGill.
They like to space the floor with that weave action. Beautiful pass by Washington. You overplay, you go backdoor. Textbook fundamental hoops.
McGill has outscored Siena's entire team by 3 as a foul is called on Washington. Iona has opened up a 7-point lead with under 12 minutes to go here in the first half. Iona with the early lead, and moments ago, Vin talked with Gaels coach Tim Cluse.
Coach, take us through the move there to not start Jordan Washington.
It's coach's decision, that's all. I wanted to give Taylor a start. He finished off our last game really well. We played well the last 9 minutes of the game for a win, and I wanted to build on that.
What are you going to preach to the guys here rest of the half?
They're going to try to throw the ball inside more and more on us, so we have to get better guard help when they do that.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
The 2017 MAC Men's and Women's Basketball Championships head back to the Times Union Center in Albany, March 2nd through the 6th. Purchase your tickets tonight by logging on to macsports.com/basketball or Ticketmaster.com or at any MAC school box office. The 2017 MAC Basketball Championships, the tournament before the tournament.
We'll be here before you know it. We're flying, aren't we? It's February
about
already,
5-6 weeks away. Indeed, it'll be right here at the Times Union Center, and these two teams hope to play for that Monday night spot and cutting the nets down and heading to the NCAA tournament. Both teams 6-4 in the MAC, and both teams coming off double-digit wins. Siena last played Sunday, a 13-point win at Manhattan. Iona played on Monday, beat Quinnipiac at home by 10. But it's Iona off to the quick start here. Shooting 7 out of 14 as Siena gets a score underneath with Bisping. Saints now 4 out of 14.
And that's what Jimmy Patsos loves, that little cross-screen flex action. Going back years ago when he was an assistant for Gary Williams at Maryland. They love all of that cross action down low. And there's the post feed that Tim Cluse just talked about.
Pounded inside to Washington. Marquee matchup against Oganyemi. Well off the mark with his skyhook. And it's out of bounds to Siena.
You see what Oganyemi did right there, though. That's better post defense for Jimmy Patsos. Didn't let him get too deep, forced him out, and now all of a sudden becomes a more difficult jump hook for Washington.
Five-point lead for the Gaels early. Siena has never led.
Little matchup look here. Got to communicate.
Siena's missed all 4 of its three-pointers so far. Oganyemi muscles it up in traffic and scores.
He sealed him in the lane so effectively that time.
And an Iona turnover. Oganyemi, the senior from nearby Troy, New York, 13 points a game. Also second in the MAC with 40 blocks. Preseason first-team selection.
Oh, he gets Washington on his backside and then the soft touch at the end.
Oganyemi really played well against Iona last year. almost 17 points a game in 3 games. Also had 7 blocks in those 3 games. Asante Shivers has checked in for Siena. He can't finish. Oganyemi volleying the ball to himself. Eventually comes away to Sam Cassell Jr. Washington running the floor, lays it in. And the foul.
Unselfish pass by Cassell Jr., who ignited the break off the bounce. Look at the nice look ahead right there. And Jordan Washington was like a runaway train that time, running like a wide receiver. Not many guys 6'8" that size could then capture the basketball, get his footing down, and readjust on the move. Impressive.
Completes the 3-point play, has 5 points. Only 3 players have scored for Iona. Ricky McGill with 11. Washington has 5 and Sevier with 2. Oganyemi going to work and draws the foul. Is it on Washington? It is not. It's on Deshaun Much. It's his second. So 2 quick fouls for Much, the Buffalo transfer, preseason 3rd-team All-Max selection. He'll likely go to the bench as Oganyemi goes to the line, 63%. Evan Fisher in along with E.J. Crawford. Bisping will get a breather. Much goes out.
And not an issue yet, but when you play a team that likes to throw the ball inside as much as the Saints do, fouls becomes an issue. Not so much about the team fouls and one-on-ones in the first half, but as we get to that second half, when does a guy pick up 3? When does a guy pick up 4? Now you're juggling minutes.
Nearing the midway point of this first half. Washington backing in. Blocked by Oganyemi. Strong rebound, McGill, and he scores again. 13 points for Ricky McGill. Averages 10 a game.
And keep your eye on Richard. I think he turned that ankle there at the end of that play. He's still laboring.
He's on the near side, the lower left-hand corner of your screen. His jump shot is good. Khalil Richard with 4.
He's signaling to Jimmy Patsos, I'm fine. Jimmy Patsos brings that substitute right back to him on the bench.
Levon Long was set to check in as Washington is stripped. Richard the loose ball.
Oganyemi's been terrific defensively on the interior here.
Oganyemi filling the lane and draws the foul. I think it's going to be on Washington.
And Tim Kluse is arguing it. He wanted a charge there. Washington talking to the officials. I think he slid in late. I think that's the right call.
Second foul on Washington. A persistent problem for Jordan Washington. Can't stay on the court.
I think the size and the mindset of Oganyemi has been a big reason why for that, Rob, so far this half.
Cassell and Bessick back in. McGill gets a breather. And Washington goes out. So those 2 players who just checked out have 18 of Iona's 20 points. Somebody else will have to step up with them on the bench. Oganyemi has 5.
Be interesting to keep an eye on. Different coaches with different theories there. Some just automatically want to conserve. Others have the theory if you count halftime, think about how much they're sitting and cooling off. See what Kluse does.
Jimmy Patsos is not a coach who will automatically bench a player with 2 fouls, as you saw Long getting up to check in a moment ago. E.J. Crawford, 43% from downtown, his first 3 of the game.
I think the tendency in that individual guy has a lot to do with that decision. If he's foul prone, maybe you play it a little bit more cautious. If it's a guy that's just having a tough night, stay with history.
It's certainly fair to wonder if Jordan Washington's going to play again in this first half.
Yeah.
Fisher, the open 3. And the rebound brought down on the weak side by Sam Cassell. Graduate student transfer from UConn. Son of 15-year NBA pro, Sam Cassell Sr. Bessick missed the alley-oop.
Nice spacing and pass.
Wright pops the open 3. Long rebound, and it's out of bounds off of Richard.
We heard Tim Kluse at the under-12 interview that we just had talk about the guards helping to the inside. And now you have 4 guards on the floor along with Besic. And I think these guys get it in, digging, tracking down long rebounds and loose basketballs like this is going to be key. You need guys to step up and handle that load with the big fella Washington on the bench.
To our point a moment ago, Levon Long with 2 fouls back in the game for Siena. Nice move by Crawford. 5 points for E.J. Crawford. 5 in a row for Crawford as well. 8-point lead. Biggest of the game for the Gaels. Oganyemi fumbled the ball. And it's out of bounds to Iona. And that'll send us to a timeout. The Gaels have opened up their biggest lead of the game. 8 points here in Albany. 17 lead on Siena. The catalyst of the Gaels' charge tonight has been sophomore Ricky McGill.
And McGill can do an array of offensive things for Tim Kluse. First and foremost, the way the Gaels like to play is push the pace offensively. Does a great job moving without the basketball. Top assist man, not just for Iona, but consistently in this league. But he's really done damage away from the basketball tonight and has been the recipient of some terrific passes by his teammates.
See, he's made 6 of his 7 shots already. Came in leading the MAC in assists and steals and helping his scoring average thus far.
And gets his steals in crafty ways too. Shooting passing lanes, coming from behind out of their matchup.
Robert Lee Vimparisi with you from Albany as Khalil Richard knocks down the 3.
They started 0 for 6 from downtown, finally getting one to go.
7 points already for Richard. Crawford, the left-handed 3. Rebounded by Casimir. It's a Crawford filling the lane, scored and a foul. E.J. Crawford with 7.
Crawford's a terrific spot-up shooter, but do not sleep on him when he has a head of steam coming to the rim. That's tough action to guard. Besic rolling and him popping as a shooter up high.
Good look by Casimir.
Absolutely.
Second foul on Bisping.
And these guards are, they do a good job of moving without the rock. The way this team tends to play offensively under Kluse. Hot potato, that ball doesn't stick often, and you move enough, you may receive it.
So Iona answers the Siena 3 with a traditional 3-point play right off the mark. Oganyemi draws another foul. It's called on Taylor Besic. So now the front court players for both teams in foul trouble. Washington and Besic each with 2 for Iona. Bisping and Long with 2 for Siena.
Oganyemi's body on the interior has been an issue for the Gaels here, and they talked about interior presence leading up to this game, and now Tim Kluse is going to go some more options along the front line and size inside.
Sophomore Tyrell Williams checks in from Miami, Florida, and a transfer from Western Nebraska College, averages a point in 6 minutes a game. So seldom used, but being called into action here as Oganyemi misses 2. Rebound volleys too severe.
And they're small right now. Iona's going to need the guards to get in there and gang rebound. All 5 on the glass to help.
Shivers back in for Bisping. Casimir launches the 3. Long the rebound. Long can handle the ball. He'll run the floor. Richards had the hot hand. Nice look to right. Rebounded by Williams. Wright is 2 for 6 from the field. Out of bounds to Siena.
That's the right call, and Sevier and all the Iona guards always with the green light to push the pace and manufacture offense by themselves. Nice little poking, quick deflection, and then eventually off Sevier's leg.
And off of Craig, our cameraman as well. Good job standing his ground. Ricky McGill back in for Cedric Casimir.
Craig looks like he never hesitated to come across the lane and take the hit and take the charge back in the day.
Shivers the quick three, and it's good. Asante Shivers' third three-pointer of the season. A much-needed shot in the arm for Siena.
Well, they got it done through interior passing early offensively, and now they're starting to step up and knock down contested jumpers.
Siena's been shooting the three much better of late. Foul away from the ball against Iona. Ricky McGill, his first.
Well, the defender has to have the opportunity to either fight through the handoff, fight through the screen, and not allowed to impede that progress offensively. It's one of those little nuggets the Zebras always seem to be looking out for, Rob.
Under 6 minutes to go here in the first half. Both teams 6-4 in conference play. Shivers. Out of bounds to the Gaels.
See, the tendency is to get it and go, and that's the way Iona likes to play. You see Cassell there, gets the little poke from behind. With this size out here, you need to turn, box, and secure the basketball first before you take off.
Cassell averages 11 a game, has not scored here tonight. Weave action again here for Iona. Got to score off this look earlier. 10 on the shot clock. Generally not an issue with the Gaels. Down to 4. Crawford gets it up on the rim, rebounded by Richard.
They switched up top. Great job by Oganyemi on the guard.
Oganyemi muscles it off glass and in. He's been the focal point of the offense for the Saints.
Doing his own damage with his back to the cup.
7 for Oganyemi. Cuts the lead to 3. Crowd comes to life a bit here. Cassell knocks down the baseline jumper.
Always a threat on the perimeter when his feet are set.
Good battle inside. Long just picked up his third foul of the game. Doesn't like the call. 3 fouls on Long.
Ron Tyberski just called the clearing out. Down low on the blocks. You want to get low, you want to seal with your rear end, but claiming Long pinned him with the arms.
Into the game, Deshaun Much for Iona. First appearance for Thomas Herter Jr., 6'7" freshman from nearby Clifton Park, New York. Playing for the 7th time this season. Son of former Siena St. Tom Herter, class of 91. McGill down the lane, spiked away by Oganyemi. Saints will look to push. Feed in transition, Oganyemi, score it, and the foul. Beautiful pass and fast break action.
We saw it earlier this half with Jordan Washington, and now we see it with the big fella Oganyemi. Saints getting out on the break. Defense leading to offense. Multiple white jerseys filling the lanes. Gorgeous pass threading the needle, and then the big fella able to regain that footing at the end with the soft touch.
Severe his first, as Oganyemi has really come on strong here in the latter portion of the first half.
Big call, big bucket, and big momentum shift here.
Chance to cut it to 2. Oganyemi into double figures for the team high 17th time this season.
Tell this is going to be one of those MAC dog fights in the second half. Going to come down to fouls, going to come down to matchups, grinding it out late in the shot clock.
Williams rolling off the screen, he scores. The pick and roll, and they lost Williams, who's already eclipsed, in fact doubled his season average with that one basket.
A gorgeous pass by Cassell off the ball screen.
Smithen, left corner 3. Rebounded by Much. Much pulls up for 3. Buries it. Woo! Deshaun Much, no hesitation, just like that, a 7-point lead.
Now that's a bucket that's going to upset Jimmy Patsos. Oh, quick trap here as they cross midcourt.
Wide open, Smithen. Herter follows it up and in.
Hustle points.
Herter, who had only 4 points all season, gets 2 there off the putback.
thing Patsos preached pregame was you got to sprint back with Iona. We know they're great offensively in transition, but you got to sprint to the three-point line, not run back to the paint. You got to get out to the sideline to the shooters.
Here's another three by Cassell. He got it. Sam Cassell has 5.
He could heat up and get streaky in a good way.
Just when it looked like Siena was making a push, Iona's matched its biggest lead again. Wright is fouled. Foul trouble piling up here for both teams. This foul on McGill, it's his second. Iona with an 8-point lead. Week, Life Storage, it's your life. Store it with care. Justin Robinson, second leading scorer in the league, has been terrific all season, kind of what you expect from him. Mikey Dixon, the leading freshman scorer in the league.
Oh, we all know about Justin Robinson, and you look at Mikey Dixon the last couple of weeks, Robert, you know, not too far-fetched to say that this is the MAC Rookie of the Year. And, you know, freshman, junior, senior, you look at the last few games, especially for Tommy Moore, Mikey Dixon's playing as well as any player in the MAC.
At this halfway point in the conference schedule, it looks like probably the 2 leaders for Rookie of the Year, Mikey Dixon and rider Stevie Jordan. But a long way to go. Dixon certainly playing very well. His teammate Peter Kiss, also a freshman, playing well also. Yeah. That last foul was changed, and it's a key change from McGill to Tyrell Williams. So instead of McGill, the leading scorer for Iona tonight, having 2 fouls, McGill only has 1. Tyrell Williams with 1 foul as well.
Hey, you mentioned the young talent in this league. Jordan from Ryder, terrific. He'll be right there as well. Mikey Dixon on fire the last couple of weeks in Hamden, Connecticut. Fun to watch.
Wright misses 2 free throws. Much the rebound. Wright has struggled tonight. 2 out of 6 from the field, has missed a couple of threes, and now 0 for 2 from the line. Weave action again from the Gaels.
Yeah, you got to communicate during the weave and then screens late in the shot clock.
Much pops free for the top of the key 3. Rebounded by Oganyemi. Wright running the break 4 on 3. Into the corner for Richard. Secondary break, and Siena will run the offense. 15 to shoot. Down to 8. Wright, another 3. Well short, shivers the board. Right off glass and in.
Interior passing again, and Wright keeps coming at you. And big bucket for the Saints to cut it to 6. I always felt like this is crucial time. Who's going to have that momentum going into the halftime break here? Very, very key when you regroup with the team.
Saints have never led in this game. Iona's led the entire way. Again, a lot of foul trouble for both teams. Much down the lane. Hacked and scores the basket. Woo. Thomas Herter the foul. Much with 5 points.
They're pressed up on him. They're taking away the perimeter shot because he drained one deep earlier in the half. And then the spacing winds up being there, much with the rip through, then taking the hit and contorting the body at the end.
Much with 6 points. Missed 4 games earlier in the year around New Year's, left the team, has returned and playing a big role here tonight, averaging 8 points a game. Oganyemi has had the hot hand, he traveled. So now the biggest lead of the game for Iona, 9 points. And as you said, the Gaels look like they're finishing the half strong.
We're coming back with a little McGill for severe action. Tim Kloos offensively this last minute 8.
Smithen in for Herter for Siena. Really a big minute here, particularly for Siena.
Yeah.
If Iona gets a couple of more scores, could really take a big lead going into the half.
Yeah, you look at the, 9's a big number. Do you go in down 12 or 13, or do you cut it to 7?
Yep. Williams calling for the ball. Now setting some screens. Much has had the touch of late. 8 on the shot clock. Cassell down the lane. McGill has been red hot. He knocks it down. 16 points for Ricky McGill.
How about his first half? And I don't know how Cassell saw him vision-wise spotting up, but talk about throwing it to the right maroon jersey.
A 29% three-point shooter. Ricky McGill is already coming up on his career high, which he set in the last game. Timeout, Siena. Saints suddenly down by a dozen.
I think Jimmy going with the good old use it or lose it. Smart one. Try to get a good shot here. And the correct substitution by Tim Kluse. He takes Sevier out, puts Ricky McGill in, who's had a terrific first 20 minutes here, spotting up the feed. And these guards, their chemistry has looked better and better every week of this season, getting on the same page, and they love to float off to the corners when they get that middle dribble penetration by the guards.
Iona averages almost 10 three-pointers made a game, 4 out of 9 so far. But it's not uncommon for the Gaels to knock in 12, 15, 20 three-pointers in a game.
Yeah, it's Kluse's philosophy. Green light, go, go, go. And he'll clap, pat him on the rear end if they miss a few in transition. So it's the way they love to play basketball.
Now there's about a 4-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Siena can basically run it all the way under 6 or 7 seconds if they choose. 1-3-1 zone look now here for the Gaels out of the timeout. Looking to trap right. 7 to shoot. Long in there with 3 fouls. Pulls up and knocks down the jumper.
How about that? 3 fouls, cool, calm, and collected.
McGill from 60. Oh, almost hit it. It's off the back iron. Ricky McGill almost knocked it down from past half court. 10-point lead for the Gaels. Iona led the entire first half, and after 20 minutes, it's Iona 44 and Siena 34. We're back with a halftime report coming up right after this. To MAC basketball on ESPN3. We're at the Times Union Center in Albany with Iona leading it by 10. At the half, Vin had a chance to catch up with Siena's leading scorer tonight, senior Javion Oganyemi.
Javion, big-time mindset by you, especially on the interior there. Talk us through your mindset coming into this one.
I've kind of been struggling to get a good start the last couple games, so I just wanted to come out here and play hard and be aggressive for my teammates.
What was Coach's message to you, especially when Washington was on the bench with the fouls?
Just be aggressive. I think even when he was on the court, coaches wanted me to post up, be aggressive, and when I get the ball inside, try to score.
Good half. Good luck rest of the way.
Thank you.
Oganyemi with 10 points in that first half, 3 rebounds, 2 blocks for head coach Jimmy Patsos. Teams both come in 6 and 4 in conference play, tied for 3rd place. Tim Kluse's team has won 3 straight in 4 of its last 5. Siena has won 5 out of 6. Siena in the white jerseys, Iona in the road maroon.
Interesting, Jordan Washington not started in the second half either.
Played 5 minutes, had 5 points in that first half, did pick up 2 fouls. Same starting 5 for Siena, the 4 seniors. Right, Long, Oganyemi, Bisping, and the freshman Richard. Right, zigzagging. Oganyemi, the strong board. Short arm, the putback. Cassell will run the break with McGill. Can he pick up where he left off in the first half? Instead, it's Cassell. Bisping, the easy rebound, and he's hacked by McGill, his second.
They love doing that. Push the pace when the basketball's in your hands and then look to pitch it back to teammates filling in behind you. They all have the green light to shoot in transition from deep. You know what they noticed they did there this first possession? Siena did such a good job flashing to the high post, get into that foul line area. They're going through with some of the cutters here to the middle, matching up and really trying to communicate and take away this interior passing.
A lot of players have 2 fouls. Long is the only player with 3 fouls. He almost lost it there.
Well, Cassell took a shot.
Bisping. Rebound on the floor. Bisping comes away with it. Fresh shot clock. Wright did not want to shoot the 3 there. Pounds it inside for Oganyemi. Bisping the corner 3. Sevier the rebound.
Thought the officials might stop action there. Cassell really took a bad eye poke, and now I think he's asking Rob Riley for a break.
So Cassell will have to come out of the game as he was poked in the eye. He'll be replaced by Deshaun Much.
He's trying to get active defensively there that last trip when Siena was on offense.
You can see him struggling with that eye. It happened on the prior play when he almost stole it from Long.
They have depth, and Much made a big shot early first half. We want to see if McGill could pick up where he left off.
Cassell has 5 assists tonight with no turnovers. Also has 5 points. He'll go to the bench. Much, deep 3. Rebounded by Bisping. His 7th board. Bisping floats in traffic and scores.
That was pretty. A lot of momentum coming there, filling on the break. Off the pitch back by Wright, and able to get those feet set for the soft touch at the end.
Just 4 points for Bisping, averages 13 a game. Really excelled against Iona last year. 17 points, 13 rebounds he averaged in 3 games. 7 on the shot clock. Severe, tough step back jumper. And the rebound snagged by Wright.
Good defense by Siena. Not able to turn the corner, making them shoot contested 2s.
McGill stole it away, and I believe a foul will be called on Bisping. It'll be his 3rd. Iona has yet to score this half. Besic out of the game. Tyrell Williams, the first big man off the bench, with 17.5 to go. Bisping will stay in the game. So he and Long playing with 3 fouls. Coach Patsos does not like the call.
You don't think he's inviting them to lunch over there? By the looks of it?
Ken Clark did not look like he was accepting the invitation. Severe, the corner 3. He buries it. 5 points for John Severe.
Got to be ready for these guards to let it fly when their feet are set. Do not need much time or room. Here's Siena, there you go. Try to get it back inside. Really collapse that D.
Long triple teamed. Bisping the 3. Has not found the range tonight, Much the rebound. Siena shooting very poorly from beyond the arc. Much, who's pretty much got the green light every time he touches the ball from 25 feet and in, will set up the offense. McGill with 6 to shoot. Much pulls up for 3. Deshaun Much has 9. Demoralizing shot for Siena.
Demoralizing to say the least. I thought that was one of their better defensive possessions of the ball game. Once again, another contested jump shot after 25 seconds.
Richard off the mark. Much the rebound. Much had it poked away. McGill's got it. Iona on the run with its biggest lead of the game. McGill pulls up and scores. 18 for Ricky McGill. Game high 16-point lead.
Well, McGill is feeling it. He's got that strut going right now that he feels like he could score at any time. Crowd anxious, trying to get their Saints back in this one.
Long will shoot the 3. Well off the mark. Air ball. And a foul against Iona. Nonetheless, the Gaels have opened up a 16-point lead on the road.
And they've gotten it done from deep. Tim Kluse's guys are, whether it's in the half court or in transition, making the extra pass, and he's got multiple guards feeling it from deep. The 3 ball going well for the Gaels here on the road.
March 16th and 18th, 2017. Be there to share the experience with your family and friends. Visit nca.com/MBB tickets for ticket and hospitality options. Iona on an 8-0 run after Siena had pulled to within 8 with the first basket of the second half. Now a game-high 16-point lead.
Well, I'll tell you how these coaches tend to look at these box scores, Robert. You're in the huddle, and if you're Tim Kluse, you're telling your guys, listen, we're doing a good job. We're holding them to 35%. We have a nice little cushion, nice little lead, but they're playing hard. granted, it's not dropping for them on the perimeter, but they have 10 offensive rebounds. They've picked up some fouls here on our guys. So when you're on the road in this league, especially up here in Albany, it's never easy.
Long throws it away. Out of the timeout, a turnover. Siena's 7th. Iona with only 4 turnovers, which, given the pace the Gaels play at, is very good.
And see, that when you're not shooting it great from deep, it leads to spacing like that, because now not everyone's confident about spacing out and spotting up, and all of a sudden you start having turnovers that look like that one.
Siena just 2 out of 15 from three-point range. Iona doing this without Jordan Washington as the ball's knocked out of bounds, stays with the Gaels.
Nice
Washington
hands.
has played 5 minutes.
Nice hands by Long. Yeah, still haven't seen the big fella.
And you wonder if Coach Tim Kloos is kind of making a point to him. You don't stop those silly fouls. We're going to move on without you.
And we have the depth to do it.
They're playing well without him. McGill. Long skies for the rebound. Right to the rim. Draws contact and he'll go to the line. Tyrell Williams, his 2nd. Here comes Jordan Washington.
When you have a night where it's not going well on the perimeter, as the big fella is energized to get back in here, you have to do what Marquise Wright just did. Shots aren't dropping for your club from deep. Manufacture points. You see the lane, be aggressive, take it. No better place to manufacture points when you're struggling from the perimeter, Rob, is at the charity stripe, but you need to get them to drop.
0 for 3 from the line now. You see Jordan Washington, 3rd in the MAC, 18 points a game, only 5 tonight. He's only played 5 minutes, but his team leads by 16. Right in the top 25 at Siena all-time in scoring. 0 for 4 from the line. Long the rebound. Long through traffic dangerously. Right, a little hesitant with that jump shot right now. He's 3 out of 9 from the field. Doesn't look like anyone wants to shoot it for Siena, although Wright will flip it in. 8 points for Wright.
Sweet soft floater.
So adept at taking the ball and finishing at the rim is Marquise Wright. Severe, rebounded by Bisping, is 8th. Siena trying to start the long road back.
I think if you're Siena, you'll get opportunities if Iona's shots aren't dropping, because they're still going to play fast. You're still going to get a lot of possessions.
3rd foul on Jordan Washington, simply in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Some nights, as Tim Kloos looks up, try to figure this one out. He's signaling to his head coach to leave me in there. Sometimes it just doesn't work. As you said, wrong place, wrong time. Sometimes a silly foul. Sometimes you're trying to get out of the way.
And Kloos said with Taylor Bessick, the senior, being healthy, playing better, as Wright makes the first free throw, that they can afford to play without Washington out there, because Bessick is providing a better defensive presence.
Yep. And you know what positives come out of this night? Granted, Jordan Washington may have a frustrating bus ride home regardless because of the fouls, but you find out a lot about your team, and maybe guys that weren't ready to put up the numbers that they put up now have a different pep in their step. And anything can happen, as we know, in this MAC tournament or down the stretch in late February. And to know you have those options and some guys that have been through the wars to come off the bench is a big-time asset.
Casimir in for Iona. Herter checks in for Siena. Washington bowling his way to the basket, and just like that has 4 fouls.
Wow. Tim Kloos is not happy at all right now with Ron Tyberski. Let's see this one. Here comes the cross post. That's tough.
Tough call. Tough call. Bisping, who frankly is probably Siena's all-time leader in charges drawn. Not an official stat, but incredibly adept at that. Washington, frustrating night. His team still up by a dozen. Wright. Rebounded by Crawford. 4-on-1 break for the Gaels. Crawford filling the lane, and he's fouled.
Nice unselfish give back.
Shivers the foul, his first. Put Crawford at the line.
They're constantly putting pressure on you with their transition offense, and the fact that all 5 maroon jerseys are going to get out and go as soon as they secure the basketball at the other end. And that's what Jimmy Patsos told us, preached to his team: defensive transition, get yourself back. And Crawford, just another perimeter that could do that for Kluse.
Crawford, a 79% free throw shooter, freshman from Hartford. Long in for Shivers. Crawford, like McGill, also comes off a career-high 20 points. Had 8 rebounds last time out against Quinnipiac. So guys like Crawford, McGill, Bessick, Much starting to be more and more of a factor for the Gaels coming down the stretch.
Yeah, their depth has improved. As they go back to this 2-3 look here defensively. Nice.
Willing to dare Siena to shoot from the perimeter. Bisping, 3-second violation.
See, they had a great rub screen there. I thought Bisping, he caught it right there, 6-7 feet, middle of the paint. You can't ask for a better catch or better shot selection. Thought he should have went into that one right away, thought about it, and got himself jammed up.
McGill, too shy of a career high. Unable to match it there, gets his own rebound. Crowd hasn't had much to get excited about here in Albany. Casimir walked. Big crowd tonight, 6,826 on this Friday night.
They are itching to turn up the volume. They just haven't been able to put a run together here. And you know, back to my assistant coaching days, always my favorite place for the MAC tourney, state capital.
Siena leads the MAC in attendance annually by a wide margin, and 6,800 tonight won't hurt that average.
Get the big fella back going again. Get him touches where he likes it.
Bessick spikes the shot away by Long. 8 on the shot clock. Right zigzagging. Still didn't hit the rim. 5 to shoot. Bisping had it blocked away. Excellent defense by the Gaels. Siena will keep it with 2 to shoot. Defense in Iona, not something you normally say in the same sentence, but very stout defensively there.
Yeah, both clubs playing very hard, offensive, battling. 2 seconds, get it off quick.
Desperation 3 by Wright. Could be a big shot in the arm there for Siena. Cuts the lead to 10.
And talk about getting back within shouting distance.
13 for Wright, who's caught fire, almost stole it. Cassell, the answer. Whew. Sam Cassell with 8.
Just when it seemed like this arena was going to truly wake up and get going, get on the run they've been waiting for, Cassell answers the call.
That's Iona basketball in a nutshell. Unfazed by you scoring. They'll come right back and shoot a 3 and make it more often than not. 6 to shoot. Down to 3. Wright will have to force another one. Does get it up on the rim, but it's rebounded by the Gaels. McGill running the break. McGill soars to the rack and draws the foul. He'll shoot free throws after a timeout. Marquise Wright, his first foul of the game. Gaels holding the Saints at bay with a 13-point lead, under 12 to go. Point lead over Siena. Vin just caught up with Siena head coach Jimmy Patsos.
Coach, still within shouting distance here. What about this half so far? What's your feel?
Yeah, we got to get a couple stops. I mean, we just cut it to 9 there, and then we overplayed, which is on me. I think against Iona, you got to get really solid defensively and protect the three-point line, and we seem to be overplaying a little bit.
Offensively here, what do you think you'll preach to the guys down the stretch?
You got to finish. You know, the middle's open, and you got to make those 10. I think we're hesitating. Just go up and score from the middle of the paint.
Good luck the rest of the way.
The 2017 Life Storage Max Swimming and Diving Championships, co-hosted by Canisius College and Niagara University, return to Erie Community College in Buffalo, New York, February 8th to the 11th. Purchase tickets at mac.ticketleap.com or visit macsports.com/swim and dive. Iona has never trailed in this game, and for most of the game, the Gaels have led by double figures.
Well, you heard Jimmy Patsos bring up a good point. The middle has been open. I mean, it's one thing not to convert. It's one thing to have a cold shooting night, but the looks have been there. They've been unselfish. They've done a good job flashing, moving without it. Now they just need some production on the interior offensively, especially when Kluse goes to that zone.
The best stretch for Siena in that first half came when they pounded it inside to Oganyemi, who had 10 points in the first half, yet to score here in the second half, barely even had a shot.
No question. That was their best stretch offensively by far, and good job by Klus and his staff being aware of that. Now let's see if he could get touches here.
McGill matches a career high with 20. That career high came in Iona's last game against Quinnipiac. Oganyemi spinning to the rack. McGill the rebound.
It was impressive footwork and a solid job by Besic pushing him out. He didn't catch that one, Rob, in his comfort zone.
Oganyemi's second attempted shot of the half. Both of them have not found the mark. Much. He got it. Deshaun Much with 12, and Iona has opened up a 18-point lead. Biggest of the game.
They're so difficult to guard when they have multiple guards stroking it from deep.
Much has had the range tonight, 3 out of 5. Foul is called underneath. It's called on Cassell, his first.
Well, we've seen it from Sevier, we've seen it from Cassell, we've seen it from Crawford, and now Much.
There's really not much defense for that.
I see what you did there with the Much.
I didn't intend to do that, but good point. Giving me more credit.
Well,
than
now
I
we got,
deserve.
yeah. Now you have some more material, too. That's good.
Extends the lead to 18, Much with 12. And another foul against Iona. And this, I believe, will put Siena at the line.
Running that flex action again on the cross screen, whether they're going to get zone or man-to-man, and they're aggressively trying to flash to the inside. 3 for 18 Siena from deep, so you can't blame Patsos for wanting to pound it in there.
Besic, his third foul, long to the line for 1 and 1. This could be a way that Siena tries to creep back into the game. They'll be in the bonus the rest of the way. Long has been quiet. 5 points, Much soars for the rebound. 17-point lead for Iona. Both teams come in 6 and 4 in the MAC. 2 games behind league-leading Monmouth, which is beating Quinnipiac at Monmouth right now. Crawford, individual effort, spiked by Oganyemi, put back, missed by Besic. Crawford, great job saving it back, out of bounds off of Siena.
Oganyemi's continuing to be a presence. So you got to get more white jerseys down there, digging, scrapping, and clawing. Oganyemi's been out on an island sometimes. The shot blocker is going to get pulled away. You need more guys to the inside riding maroon jerseys out. Right now, Iona's getting those 50-50 balls.
Much on fire. Deshaun Much with 15 and the biggest lead of the game, 20 points. He is just in the zone right now. Oganyemi couldn't answer. Rebound to Richard, and he scores.
Much is feeling it in a big-time way. You make 9 threes on the road in this league, and it's going to be good things are going to happen.
Much has 4 of them on 6 attempts. And they're just running him off screens and getting him shots right now. Crawford will try his hand. Richard the rebound. Shivers attacks the rim. And a foul will be called against Besic. That will now be Besic's 4th foul of the game, so both he and Washington have 4 fouls. Which in a close game might be a greater concern than it is perhaps for Tim Klus right now with an 18-point lead and just over 9 minutes to go. Shivers to the line.
Fouls keep mounting up for multiple positions. Eventually guys are going to have to get back in there and then just play for the last 9 minutes.
Tyrell Williams, who gave them some good minutes in that first half, checks in for Besic.
Besic will join Jordan Washington, who's been very positive along the sidelines, waving the towel, in the foul trouble, cheering his teammates on, and his guards have picked up the slack offensively tonight here in Albany in a big-time way.
Not only struggling from beyond the arc, Siena now 10 out of 19 from the free throw line. And down by 17 with about 9 minutes to go. Keep an eye on Much. He's got the ball, number 15. He's taken over the scoring mantle in the second half. Much foul. It'll be only the 4th foul against Siena, the 2nd on Shivers.
See, that's where hot shooting helps you in other ways, because now you're stroking it well from deep. They got to tighten up on you, take away airspace, and now you're in a better position to pick up those little nickel dimers.
Gaels reverse layup, beautifully up and in.
Just like his pops, the old man. NBA vet game right there.
3-time NBA champion Sam Cassell. A couple titles with the Rockets, one much later with the Celtics, and a foul will be called against Oganyemi.
I was a diehard Knicks fan in the 90s. What a traumatic experience it was watching Sam Cassell.
Never afraid of the big shot.
What he did to our Knicks.
Famous for one particular dance, which we won't describe for our family viewership, but Sam Cassell not afraid to take the big shot. And his son has 10 points here tonight. Sam Senior, currently an assistant with the Los Angeles Clippers. 8.5 to go, Gaels by 19. Much. He's in the zone right now. He'll drive in on Herter. 3 to shoot, and an easy layup for E.J. Crawford.
They thought the possession was over defensively. They thought they were going to hoist it. Look at how much they got accomplished in 4 seconds.
Oganyemi answers at the other end. He's got 12. And a Siena timeout. Iona in control, up 19 with under 8 minutes to go here in Albany. Game in a row here, and 7th in a row here at Siena. See all the coaches around the country wearing those sneakers for a good cause.
Just great, and just a long-time tradition in men's college basketball, citing the battle of cancer and coaches versus cancer. And this weekend, doesn't matter what league you turn on that tube, you're going to see guys coaching with sneaks, and just great awareness.
These two coaches, number 2 and 3 all-time in terms of MAC regular season wins. Joe Mihalik now the coach at Hofstra, longtime coach at Niagara, number 1. Pat Sos, 13 years in the MAC at Loyola and Siena. Tim Cluse at Iona. Tim Cluse has led the Gaels to 6 straight 20-win seasons, 7 overall, but 6 under Cluse. Bisping the steal, he scores.
Yeah, there you go. Pick up defensively, full court. They got to try to get some defense into offense here.
Much wide open, even more open McGill. Oganyemi the push off on the weak side. It'll be his 2nd foul of the game. That will send us to another timeout with about 7.5 to go. Iona holding on to a 17-point lead. MAC Indoor Track and Field Championships, hosted by Manhattan College, return to the New Balance Armory Track and Field Center in New York City. Be sure to come out on February 18th and 19th to support your MAC team. For more information, visit macsports.com/indoor track. Robert Lee, Vin Parisi, our entire crew with you from Albany, New York. Iona leads Siena 68-51, almost a steal by Wright. It comes away to McGill.
Read that one right.
I see what you did there.
Oh, I didn't even do that one on purpose. See, the chemistry's just flowing tonight, Robert.
The great ones make it look so easy.
Oh, he wants it. It's got him on his back.
Down to 10 on the shot clock. Crawford hits the rim. Rebounded by Wright. 1-on-2. Bisping follows it up and in.
So they get it out and get it ahead before you could set up defensively in the full court.
Largest lead of the game was 21 points. It's been cut to 15. But Siena's really got to get it down under 10 in about the next 3 to 4 minutes. Iona with another push would probably put the game away. Cassell Bisping the rebound, his 12th. Key possessions here over the next couple of minutes for Siena. Got to keep scoring.
No question. And you want to be efficient, but you can't afford to be too patient.
Looking for good shots. They are in the bonus, so any foul will put Siena at the line. Bad turnover, miscommunication, Much dunks it. 17 for Much. Matches a season high.
I'll tell you, they really have been on the same page defensively with their rotations, shooting the passing lanes.
Iona, never a team known for its defense, but near the top in field goal percentage defense this year, and have held the Saints to only 53 points tonight.
Yeah, better defensive group this year.
The foul on Much, his third. Iona comes off a MAC championship last year, and so much of the focus, and rightfully so, A.J. English's incredible offensive exploits. Iona improved just enough defensively to get them over the hump and win that MAC championship.
Yeah, and it was interesting talking to Klus in the fall when the season was starting about who's going to pick up the slack, and he goes, you know, I think this team's going to emerge. I think there's going to be, you know, many lives to this season. Different guys will step up. And listen, we all know about Jordan Washington's success and history in this league, but he's got a lot of options, not just on the perimeter, along the baseline, guys to fill those holes when you go on the road and you battle foul trouble. That's life in the MAC.
Wright continues to struggle from the line. 3 out of 8 now. Does have 14 points to lead Siena. A couple more stops and scores for the Gaels, and they can pretty much assure themselves they're heading home with a victory. Cassell. Rebounded by Bisping, his 13th. Siena's got to score just about every single time down the floor the rest of the way. Down 16 here with 5 minutes to go.
Nice feed.
Oganyemi quadruple teamed and scores anyways.
I don't know what was better, the post feed or him being resourceful down low with 3 maroon jerseys defending him.
14 points for Oganyemi. Much. Bisping is just dominating the defensive glass. Siena, basket or two away from making this very interesting. Ball's on the ground. Herter ties it up, and a jump ball. The arrow will favor Iona with 4.5 to go.
You got to get up, you got to pressure here, and you got to try to speed the Gaels up into making a mistake.
Richard out, Long comes in. Long earlier tonight became the 3rd player in Siena history with 1,000 points, 600 rebounds, and 250 assists. Versatile player. 3-on-1 break here for Iona off the press break. Crawford will go to the line. Long tiptoeing along the cheer team there. Picks up his 4th foul.
It's a frustrating night for many players on both sides. You know, these guys come in, the Gaels continuing to be aggressive offensively. They come in and you know what their strengths are and you know what you're averaging, and you know, this just shows you conference play. Anything could happen. Guys got into foul trouble here tonight. Guys got out of the flow. A lot of guys got out of the rhythm, and other guys had to step up. And you feel for the guys sometimes that they're not able to put together a night that they counted on.
If you looked at the box score after the game and you said Jordan Washington, arguably the best interior player in the MAC, would have 5 points in 6 minutes, and his team would be up by 16, it'd be a little hard to believe.
That's right. And then you start to look at numbers, shooting 52% from the field, 9 3-pointers. A lot of guys bringing it on the offensive end tonight for Klus.
16-point lead for Iona. Been comfortably ahead most of the second half. Siena scored the first basket of the half to cut it to 8. Iona responded with an 8-0 run, and it's been double digits ever since.
You mentioned the 3 for 18 earlier. You're going to see a good amount of zone. Eventually you need to stretch the D and make shots. Nice flash.
Oganyemi, 16 points. Maybe a race to 75 points here. Perhaps, maybe Siena could score 17 points in the next 4 minutes. But Iona firmly in control here. Under 4 minutes to go. Much. Casimir the rebound and a fresh 30.
Long shots equal long rebounds, and unfortunately for Siena, the Gaels get an extra shot clock out of it.
Under 3.5 to go. Iona willing to run time off the clock here. Much. He got it. Tough shot.
I was just about to say, if that one goes in, it's just your night. There's nothing else to say.
Deshaun Much, 34% from beyond the arc this year as Bisping lays it in. Much now has 20, including 5 3-pointers, most of them here in the second half.
Tim Kluse did not care about that 17-point lead, getting on his guys for giving up the 2 points immediately.
Much had 6 points at halftime, 14 here in the second half. Turnover. Long 3-on-2. Nice bounce pass to Wright, who lays it in. 16 for Wright, but still a 13-point deficit with 2.5 minutes to go.
Jimmy Patso signaling to his guys, get up, pressure, play more aggressive half-court man-to-man. Don't just sit back on your heels.
Iona just looking to avoid turnovers here. If they can do that, they'll likely win the game. McGill, foul. He'll go to the line, trying to set a new career high when we return. Iona, 13-point lead, just over 2 minutes left to go. Out lead 75-62, coming down to the final 2 minutes here. McGill with 26 rebounds. Much has 27 rebounds, including 5 3-pointers. Crawford with 13. Cassell, 10 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Siena led by Oganyemi and Wright with 16 apiece. Bisping another double-double, 10 points, 14 boards. His 7th double-double of the season. McGill to the line, trying to set a new career high, which he set last game against Quinnipiac. And he's got it. Came in averaging 10 points a game. Sophomore from Spring Valley. He's really come on strong here in his second season with Iona. 22 points for Ricky McGill, to the delight of his teammate Jordan Washington, who hasn't been a big factor tonight, but his team's likely going to go home with the win.
Yeah, but when the coaches go back and watch the film, Robert, they will absolutely love that, because it's so easy to sit over there and sulk and feel sorry for yourself and be mad at the officials, and he's been the biggest cheerleader over there for the maroon and gold this evening.
Siena now 3 out of 19 from 3-point range. And walk-on Jimmy Merrill set to check into the game for Siena, as the Saints not going to foul here with just 1.5 minutes to go. 15-point lead, McGill blocked by Oganyemi. Wright will run the floor 3-on-2.
Frustrated.
Bisping. Rebound brought down by Casimir, and he traveled. Line change for Siena. Shivers, Herter, Merrill, Friday, and Willem Brandwick check into the game. So the 5 who are on the floor check out. Some of the reserves with a chance to get some action here with 1:17 to go. Iona will improve to 14-8, 7-4 in the MAC. Siena will fall to 9-13, 6-5 in conference play. And Iona will win its 4th game in a row. 5 of the last 6 also. Ball deflected. Friday fighting with it. Friday lays it in.
Good hustle. You know what's impressive? They didn't face the Saints that dropped 11 of the first 15. They faced the team that's won 5 out of the last 6. And this team is playing very, very good basketball for Jimmy Patsos. And with Jordan Washington in severe foul trouble, beyond impressive by Tim Kluse's club tonight.
Couple subs in for Iona. Walk-on Luka Milosavljevic and Jan Svanderlik. Cheers to the pronunciation guy.
A lot of consonants and vowels there.
It's a good word in Scrabble, both of those. 13-point lead for Iona. Final 45 seconds here. These two teams will meet again soon on Tuesday, February the 7th. About a week and a half down in New Rochelle. And it also extends an incredible streak. Since Tim Kluse took over, no MAC team has ever swept Iona, and it won't be Siena this year.
You look at what he's done in this league. It'd be impressive in any league in college basketball, the success in a short amount of time.
Ball kicked to Herter. 7 seconds left as Shivers lays it in. And that will do it. Final score, Iona 77, Siena 66. Gaels have won 4 straight.
Too much hot shooting for Tim Kluse's guys tonight on the road for the hometown Saints. And a lot of guys had to battle adversity, battle the whistle, but the Gaels were rolling tonight, 50% from the field every time you looked.
Final score, Iona 77, Siena 66. Gaels improved to 7-4 in the MAC. Siena falls to 6-5. We're back with interviews of the victors right after this.